Hello. Here we are again. Another early morning. I'm waking up slow still. Waking up slow. Trying to time the morning out. My daughter has a soccer game this morning. I have a reading due this morning, so I'm trying to time this out. Waking up slow. Waking up slow. Figured I'd hop on here and see if we can think of some fun things to talk about. I had another night that was a little uncomfortable, kind of like night before last, where I was telling you yesterday morning that, I've been feeling these energetic surges that wake me up in the morning. And it happened again this morning, but it wasn't as intense. But I still woke myself up tossing and turning and tossing and turning. And I wasn't ready to get up. I still could have fucking slept a couple more hours, but the energetic surge is just, it's just so weird, man. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, though. Hello, good morning, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I got me a big reading. I'm gonna do this here, and I'm gonna get off of here and do one of the biggest readings I've ever done. Somebody paid for 10 questions. I'm like, whoa, okay. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I gotta be energetically on point to do my job. My energy's gotta be right, dude. Never in a million years would I have thought that, doing something like this for a living would, ever be challenging, And one of the most important lessons I've been learning lately is that I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the stress of life. You never really escape it. There's no way to really escape it, There's no way to really escape it. I kind of, most of us assume, myself included, in the back of our minds that one of these days we're going to escape stress, And that was a very big thought that was in the back of my mind when I was wanting to manifest my own successful business, And I escaped the stresses that I was in at the time, but they got replaced with totally different. There's no way to escape it. There is no way to escape it. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care how much money you make. There's nobody that's less stressed than the next person, I don't think, It's all an inside job. It's all in here. We got to go inside. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you work a minimum wage job or if you're a multimillionaire. You don't escape stress unless you go in here and start playing with your own frequency. You know what I mean? That's the only way it's done. Huge lesson I've learned over the past few years. Huge lesson. Because, I was just like everybody else. I didn't believe that either, I see this meme floating around social media sometimes that says, I forget how it goes, but something to the effect of only rich people say that money doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And you can tell that the person that created this content is broke. And it's like, dude, no, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. Whoever created that, man, again, I'm butchering it bad. I don't remember the whole content. But, only rich people say that money doesn't matter. No, that's not the point. The point of it is money does not buy you what you think it's going to buy you. You know what I mean? I didn't believe that either. No, I didn't believe that. I thought all I need is this much money. Then I'll be good, Then I'll be chill and relaxed and not have no worries and not have no stress, And of course you hear everybody else saying the opposite. I'm like, man, that's bullshit. I don't believe that. They're just trying to be humble. I don't believe that. It's true. And y'all know me, man. If I speak on something, I'll tell you exactly how it is. Not how I want it to be, not how I feel about it. I'll tell you how it is. So trust me, that's true. I'm not one of those call it like I see it type of people. I don't like that mentality. I don't call it like I see it. I call it how it is. Think about that. Colorblind people call it as they see it too, but they don't see colors right. You know what I mean? I don't like it when people say that, oh, I'm just telling it like I see it. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. Well, what if how you feel about it doesn't fucking matter? You know, how you feel, what if that has nothing to do with the truth of the matter? You know what I mean? Probably just my Aquarius energy speaking there, but I very much feel the same way, you know? I don't call it like I see it. I don't tell it like I feel. I tell it how it is, you know, and it's very true. Anyway, I didn't have a landing point with that, but yeah, anyway, point was is I'm gearing up this morning. I got some work to do. And this right here, I wanna get on here and chat with y'all to get my head right. Get my head right, you know. I try to explain it to Leah sometimes. She's like, well, have you done any work? And I'm like, no, I've been trying to get my head right. And now she's, for those of you who have seen, she's playing with those little TikTok readings, you know, where she just pulls a couple of cards and whatnot, and she'll sit there and she'll go through, and she's dead serious. She really is like feeling the cards out and like meditating and whatnot. She'll get through like 5 or 6 of those little mini readings that she does, and she's like, oh man, I can't even think straight. And I'm like, I told her the other night, I was like, yeah, imagine you feeling like that at the end of the night, and me coming and handing you 2 stacks of paper and saying these readings are due before tomorrow morning. Imagine how that feels. It's like, you know, you ever cram study? You know what I mean? Like study for a test or something like that. And you just read and study until your brain can't even read anymore. Until you're seeing the letters and they're just all jumbling together and you can't even read anymore. That's how it feels. That's how reading tarot feels. That's how it does you. That's exactly how it does you. If you do all these readings, bam, tick it, bam, tick it, bam, tick it, bam. After a minute, it's just like you throw a card on the table and it's just like, I don't even know what that card is. I can't even tell you the name of that card. Can't even tell you the name of it, let alone what it means or how it fits into the spread. You know, your brain is just fried. So I tell her that a lot. Like, no, I'm trying to get my energy right. Because I care about whether or not I actually bring valuable work to the table, you know? I care very much. There may be some people out there that don't, but I do. I do, you know? I want to be able to bring content to the table that's as valuable as possible. So, yeah, I got to get my energy right. And this right here will do the trick for me. This right here will do the trick for me. So, anyway, anywho, what y'all up to? Yeah, you fry if you don't take breaks. Yeah. Yup. I'm getting better though. One thing I'm getting better at though is pacing myself. Used to, some of y'all who've been following me for a while probably remember a couple of years ago, I used to liken myself to a baby snake. You know how they say baby snakes are more dangerous because they'll bite you and they'll empty the whole fucking venom sac and they don't have control? With me reading, when I very first started, that's how I was. You know, I would get my energy up and I would just get myself so amped and I would just, blah, just all my energy out into one reading and then I'm like, and then I couldn't do much else after that. You know what I mean? Now I'm getting better at learning that valve to where I just turn it on a little bit and pace my energy. Bzz, you know what I mean? That makes sense? Especially if I have a couple of lazy days throughout the month and the month's ticking down, coming to an end, you know, and I gotta get my paycheck looking a certain number. I'm just gonna tell you how it is, man, being a YouTuber. If you're a career YouTuber, your whole livelihood gets paid for by YouTube. You gotta get a certain number of you gotta get a certain amount of shit on your channel, man. You gotta get a certain amount of views and whatnot, you know? It's just how it is. That's just the nature of it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that don't like talking about that. I don't give a fuck. That's anybody. If you click on any YouTube video from a YouTuber that has a large following, 100,000, 200, 500,000, 6, 7, a million followers, and you see ads on that video, they're doing the same thing. Trust me. Don't let them lie to you about it. Like, you know, don't let them. Oh yeah, they're doing the same thing. We're all doing the same thing out here, you know. So if I take a couple of lazy days, I'm like, it's the beginning of the month. I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing nothing. I know that if I keep doing that, there's gonna be a day come to where I'm like, fuck, I gotta do like 7 readings today. I gotta put like 7 videos on my channel today. You know what I mean? Just to get the views up to that number and get everything up to that number. You know what I mean? But even then, I still got to get my energy right. You know, it's still a job, man. It's still a job. There ain't no way around it. All right? It may be a very weird job, maybe very, very unconventional, but it's still just like any other job. You know what I mean? Only thing is, the boss is in your head. The boss is in your head. You got to make yourself do it. That's another one of the biggest shifts that I never thought would be that hard. You know what I mean? I remember back in the day, I'm working my little car wash job. I'm like, man, I can't wait to be my own boss. And then when it finally got there, I'm like, oh, there's an element to this I didn't think about. It's much easier to get a lot of shit done when you have somebody else standing over your shoulder. When you ain't got nobody standing over your shoulder telling you, you better get this work done. It's real easy to be like, I ain't doing nothing. Nah, I'm not doing nothing. It's real easy to do that. Real easy to do that. Nah, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, nah, I still don't feel like doing it. Real easy. You got to activate that inner boss. Get some shit done, motherfucker. Get it done. Get it done now, you know? Got to activate that inner boss, man. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about all this. Ugh, what's up with y'all, man? How y'all doing? Oh, yep, got to boss up. That's right. Yep. I'm sure we got some self-employed people out there. Pretty sure it doesn't really matter what you do. I don't care what you do. If you're self-employed, when you don't have anybody telling you what to do, you know what it's like to activate that inner boss. It's hard. Well, for me, I don't know. I wasn't raised in a self-employed environment. I'm sure maybe if your parents were self-employed and you may have been raised around it and seen it, and it may be a little bit easier for you, but I was raised, and by my grandparents, blue collar, get up and go to work people, and those are the values they raised me with. Get your ass up, get a job, go to work, work all the hours you can get, save all the money you can save. I was raised like that. Never really did that too well, but that was what I had. That was the environment that I was raised around. So the whole be your own boss thing was a totally foreign concept to me. Totally foreign. Completely foreign. It was unlike anything I had ever experienced. I never even really met or gotten too close to anybody that's self-employed. So I didn't, until I told myself that's what I'm manifesting, self-employment. One of the first things that you do, whatever you want to manifest. Let me give you all a little manifestation tip. And this was the very start of the journey too. One of the very first things that you do is you go find people that have what you want and befriend them. Befriend them, and like listen to them. Don't just fake it. Don't just fake it. Seriously, like open up to viewing the world their way. Carry on conversations with them. Picture how you look at the world, how you view things like money and this and that, and get on their vibrational level. That was the first thing I went out and did. Living in that little one-horse town up in Maine, it's one of the first things that I did. I was like, all right. Just so happened the girl that I was dating, well, it was a really small little one-horse town anyway, where everybody knew everybody, but she had a lot of friends that owned businesses in that town. She was friends with the people that owned the spiritual store. She was friends with one of the ladies that owned a barber shop. She was friends with this other dude that owned this like head shop or whatever. And, I would go around and I would start befriending them. You have what I want. You have what I want. I want my own business. I want to be my own boss. I want to be self-employed. You have what I want. I want to get to know you. I want to see how you think. I want to see how you view business and money and work and whatnot. I want to start looking at the world through your lens. That's a very big part of it. Very big part of it. You take a look around your life. Look at the 5 people closest to you. Whatever path they're headed down, that's the path you're probably headed down too. That was a real hard pill to swallow for me. Real hard pill to swallow. Because at one point in time in my life, I take a look around in my life. Who's the 5 people closest to me? If there's 5 people. I've always been kind of a loner. But the people closest to me, drug addicts, drunks, people on unemployment. You know what I mean? Homeless people. And, not judging nobody, but if I don't want to go down that path, sorry, nothing against you. I'm not judging you. You do what you do. You experience the life that you want to experience. I've got goals to accomplish. So I'm gonna detach. See what I'm saying? Do what I'm saying? One of the biggest things that I've seen, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make on a manifestation journey is that the majority of the people, close people in their life, do not have what they want, but they refuse to let go of them. Family. Family's a big one. Oh yeah, family's a big one. Your closest family members. Say for example, you have a job making 40 grand a year and you want to make $500,000, 500,000, okay? And your mom, bless her, pea picking heart, sweetest lady in the world, has never made a dime over 50,000. And she's giving you advice and telling you what you should and shouldn't do. And you're listening to her. You're never gonna have that 500,000. Never. You're never gonna have, don't take advice. I'm not saying that your mom's a bad person. She could be the sweetest little lady with the best heart that ever walked God's green earth. But if these people don't have what you want, do not take advice from them. Do not take advice from them. You know who I went to for advice on money? A millionaire. I went to a millionaire. I didn't go to somebody that works at Taco Bell for advice on how to manifest money. I didn't do that. I went to a millionaire. It's common sense. You know what I mean? Or I went to, somebody that has something at least, 6 figures a year, $1 million, whatever. I went to people who had what I wanted, I always noticed that I began noticing over the past couple of years, there's a big trend going around where people would try to give me advice. They wouldn't just try to give me advice. They would try to shove advice down my throat, about what I'm manifesting and how I'm manifesting and what I'm doing right and wrong and this and that. And their life, I would not trade lives with them. So it's like, I have way more than what you want, and you're going to give me advice, Click. Click off, click away, block, deuces. I'm not even going to feed you my energy, man. Not even going to feed it to you, Anyway, though, yep, you are who you hang out with. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's probably, I would feel very safe contending. That is probably the most challenging part of the manifestation journey, is letting go of the people that you're attached to who do not have what you want, who are not on the path that you want to be on. I would feel safe saying that that's probably one of the most challenging parts. Yep. Because that's always the part people struggle with the most, There's a couple of them. There's 2 or 3 of them, but I think that's probably the hardest one, Family members and friends and whatnot, If you stay latched on to those people, you're never going to see any changes in your life. That's just all there is to it. I don't remember where I was going with that, or even what started that topic, but you know how we do here, man. Just rambling. Just rambling. Just rambling. Anyway, what y'all up to? Yeah, I know at least one person needed to hear that. I know at least one. I still get testimonials. And as long as I keep getting those testimonials on, how people have changed their life just by taking one little piece of advice, then that's like, man, all right, looks like I still got a job to do. Because that's the universe saying, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, what an interesting time we live in. What an interesting time. The only thing that kind of makes me a little bit nervous is what are we going to do? Those of us who came here to help in the transition, what are we going to do whenever everything is transitioned? We're going to leave and go home? It's going to be our time to croak out and die? What? You know what I mean? Once we've helped, once everything is transitioned, which is going to take some time. But once everything is all transitioned and everything's switched over and we've switched from the old system to the new system and everything's up and rolling and that old system is a fart in a whirlwind. Those of us who came here to help with the shift, what are we going to do then? What are we going to do then? You ever thought about that? Have you thought about that? Because before the shift began, I mean, there was a good period in time leading up to it, but before it became crunch time, it was kind of just a thought. It was kind of just a thought. It was just, just like an idea, you know, kind of like a theory. I mean, those of us who came here to help, we felt that burning in our soul, but it was still, at the end of the day, you couldn't really point to it. You had nothing to point to really prove, you know. And now we're there. Now we're there. Now we can point to and prove what we came here for because we're in the middle of it now. What about after it's all over? Then what? Then what are we going to do? You know? Yeah, that is a great mystery. I don't know, man. I don't want to let myself get too wrapped up in that thought. It might drive me crazy. Hang on a second. Oh. It might drive me a little bit crazy if I allow myself to get wrapped up in that, you know? I can tell you what I like. I would like to get to a point where the amnesia, the spiritual amnesia fades and our frequency increases to the point to where we can just come and go as we please. That's what I would like, you know? Once we find out the truth about this dimension that we live in, and it's public knowledge, it's mainstream common sense that the entire plane of existence that we're on, we were lied about for a very, very long time. And once that's common sense, you know, and it's no longer a debate, and it's just common sense, everybody's like very aware of it, you know, and we figure out that we can just come and go as we please, and we figure out how to do it. That's what I would like, you know. But then, I don't know, man. I don't know. Once you start digging that rabbit hole, it goes so deep. But then, see, here's the thing. People ask me all the time, what's the point of life? What's the point of life? How many times have you asked yourself that or been asked that? What's the point of this life? Why do we come here and do this? There's a very simple explanation for that. And I will liken it to, have you ever sat down and watched a movie that you knew was going to scare the shit out of you? Have you ever done that? Why? What was the point of that? You ever sit down and watched a movie you knew was going to make you sad? Why? What was the point of that? What was the point in sitting down and focusing your attention on that dramatic situation, that storyline with all that drama, just to experience the drama? That's the point. That's the point. That's the point of this life. That's the point of it. That's it. Sorry. That's the point of it. Now, I'm not saying that we don't make plans of things that we want to come here and experience for certain reasons and whatnot, but retrospectively, that's the point. Why do we come do this? Because we want to experience the drama and the struggles and the drama, man. That's the point. You ever sat down next to your best friend and played a video game against each other, fighting each other? Why? What was the point of that? What's the point of sitting down and playing a video game? You know, what's the point of that? If you can answer that question, then that's your answer as to what the point of this life is. Think about it. Up there at Source, man, it's boring. It's fucking boring. You have access to all knowing. There is no mystery. There is no universal mystery. You're bored. I want to go do something. I want to go play a game. You know, I want to go play a game because it's fun. You know, you ever put on a virtual reality mask? I got on one of them little virtual reality rides. Why? What was the point of that? Think about it. Come on now. Come on now. Yo, there's this game called fucking Earth, bro. Guess what? You go put on that virtual reality mask, you completely forget who the fuck you are. You go play this little character, you totally nuh-uh. Whatever. That ain't gonna work on me. I'll never forget who I am. I don't think that would work. Nah, I don't believe it. Oh yeah? Let's go play. All right. I'm going to be your husband. You be my wife. All right? And then you're going to cheat on me, and it's going to piss me off, and I'm going to kill you. All right. Let's go do it. Bam. Then you get back up to the other side. Man, what was that like? Bro, you're not going to believe how intense that was. Really? Okay, well, let's go do it again, only this time you do it to me. And that's how karma was born. Very simple. Very simple. So, the point that I'm getting to here, I do have a landing point with this. The point that I'm getting to is as soon as we vibrate up out of the low, dense game and we begin to be like, oh yeah, I remember now. Then what? We're going to get bored? Some people go off to other 3D-like planets or planes or whatever. See what I'm saying? Then what? Then will it still be a fun game to play? Who knows, man? Who knows? That's where we're headed, though. See what I'm saying, though? Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah, I like this. I didn't have the greatest night's sleep last night, but I am glad that I got up early. I like doing this, man. This is fun. It gets my mind right, gets my energy right, gets me amped up. Like I said, for those of you just now tuning in, my daughter has a soccer game this morning, and I have a reading due. So as soon as I get off here, I don't know if I have to wake the kids up this morning or not. But anyway, I got to get off here. I got to jump right straight on a reading that's due in the next 3 or 4 hours. And I like getting on here, man, and talking about shit. It's fun. And these things, you see, here's the cool part, too. These are all things that I used to just keep to myself. You know, because it's really, 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 really hard to find people that you can have these kinds of conversations with. Leah, bro, I don't have to explain nothing to her. She catches on quicker than anybody I've ever met in my life. Like, I don't have to explain nothing to her. I don't have to sit and teach her anything. I don't know where she gets the downloads of information, or she just opens up her mouth and starts speaking what I'm thinking. It's like, it used to really blow my mind. I'm getting kind of used to it now, but still, sometimes I sit back and think like, whoa, man. This is normal, everyday conversation in my house. And the kids too, the things we're teaching the kids. I walk in and I recorded it. She told me not to post it. But I hear some talking going on down the hall the other night. And I walk down there. I just got done doing some videos or whatever. And I walk down the hall. And Leah's sitting there with a whiteboard teaching the kids alternate timelines. Like on a whiteboard. And I'm like, oh shit. That's cool, man. The kids are like, oh, I want this. I'm going to manifest this, you know? And they ask, and I explain to them how manifestation works, you know? I'm constantly teaching them how energy really behaves. I didn't have them for a long time. I've only had the kids back for about 1.5 years now. You know, so I'm doing the best that I can to plant these seeds. This is how energy really behaves. And with that thought has the ability to manifest this, you know? Hang on, sorry, there's noise going on out there. But anyway, yeah, it's a normal everyday conversation in my house. But yeah, it is cool to be able to get on and be able to talk about these things on here, because even on the internet, I can even remember on YouTube here, within a matter of, let's see, 4 or 5 years ago, even on the internet, these things were hard to talk about because people just didn't quite get it, you know? And my head never started leveling out until I started, you know, getting these kinds of downloads, you know, and hearing people who do talk about the nature of reality like this. That's when my head started to level out. I don't know if you all have ever seen any. I got a lot of old content floating around the internet, old videos of me over the past 10 years and stuff. And my head was not in a good place when I was younger, in my early 20s. I'm going to have to close that fucking window. Sorry about that. Anyway, my head was not in a good place, you know, not in a good place at all. I was strung out on drugs, and I just hated this. I did not like this game, and I didn't know why. I didn't like this life. I didn't like this planet. I didn't like being a human. I didn't know why. Nothing about. And then once I started to learn the nature of reality, that's when I had this sigh of relief. I knew that. That makes sense, you know, and that's when my head began to level out. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Yeah, that is cool. It is cool when you can talk to your spouse about that. You know, we know somebody. I'm not gonna give too many details out about who these people are, but we know somebody who is very, very awake and open-minded and married to somebody who is so closed off. Like this person will basically straight up tell you, "I don't want to know." Like they will very shamelessly and unapologetically tell you that they have a wall up around their consciousness and they are not allowing any new information in because they're too afraid. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Finding compassion and understanding for those kinds of people has been my biggest challenge over the past couple years. It's been my biggest challenge, and I know that that's my assignment. Because for the again, this is for my loyal followers who have been with me since day one. You remember, I didn't have very much patience at first. I did not have very much patience for ignorance. No. I used to be real quick and short to like willingly being ignorant and brainwash people. You know what I mean? And it's mainly because I think the reason I reacted that way is because it scared me, because I thought the planet was awake. I thought the planet was awake and more evolved. Hang on, y'all. I gotta close this fucking window. All that goddamn noise. Alright. Anyway, so when it came down to crunch time, and we could clearly see that the whole fucking planet is brainwashed, that scared me. I was like, no, it's too late. You know, it freaked me out, man. It scared the hell out of me. So I've been working over the past couple years to try to understand and develop a sense of compassion and understanding, you know? And at the end of the day, this is one of the things that I tell myself. People who are very easily manipulated and brainwashed, the biggest issue is that they couldn't possibly in a million years comprehend that there could be that kind of evil. That's the problem. That's the problem. They could not comprehend that could be that kind of evil, let alone controlling the world, let alone, they just could not comprehend that kind of evil exists, you know? So I'm thinking, but at the end of the day, you still got to open your eyes. You know what I mean? You still got to open your eyes. You can't just bury your head in the sand. I get that. You know, at one point in time in my life, I probably couldn't have really comprehended that either. But once you're faced with it, and people like me, I don't just get my information from hearsay on the internet. I've told you all, I've met people who are connected to very high places, or was, you know, connected to very high places. So I've received very credible information from credible sources, you know. You can't just keep your head buried in the sand like that. You know what I mean? You can't do it. Anyway, y'all know that we can't go too far down that path on YouTube. I don't even know why I started flirting with that path, but anyway. Anywho. Yeah, it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But good thing is we're moving out of it. This is the period of cleaning up. And I'd be lying to you if I said that I agreed with the way they were doing it. I don't agree with the way they're doing it. That's probably why people like me aren't in charge of the operations, because none of us agree. None of us who know what's going on, or at least have an idea, because I don't think any of us really know the full scope of what's going on. But those of us who have a very good general idea of what's happening, I don't think any of us agree with the way they're doing it. You know, we all want it done yesterday, right? We all want it done yesterday. And let's be real, it's our egos. You know what I mean? We want that satisfaction of all those idiots that called us crazy for so many years hearing the truth. Be honest. Be honest, that's what it is. That's a big part of it. I don't believe you. If you won't admit to that, I don't believe you. That's a big part of it. So we got to swallow that ego. It's hard. It's hard. I got to swallow it too. I got to swallow it too. I suffer from the same thing. I'm a human too. I have an ego as well. But anyway, just got to let it run its course and do your part. Do your part. Like I said, my part thus far is just teaching you how to open your eyes. That's my part. It's pretty cool, and I get the confirmation all the time. It's pretty fascinating that at one point, you know what I mean, everybody had a blindfold on, you know, and I thought to myself, you know what I can do though? I can teach people how to take the blindfold off. I can't do it for you, especially if you're dedicated to keeping it on, but I can teach you how to do it. I can put the information out there and teach you how to go inside and start flipping switches. And all I can do is hope that you do it. That's all I can do. Is I can put them and I plant the little seeds in my tarot card readings too. Some of you are aware of it, but some of you may not quite realize. So you can watch one of my readings, well, just a general reading. Oh, I get real in depth in personal readings, but even a general reading, I'll plant a little seed. You know, sometimes I'll go on a little 2 or 3 minute lecture that plants a little seed in your head. And if you think about it, you'll start going inside and flipping switches. Does that really work that way? Is that real? Is that true? And the minute you make that first step and you go inside and start saying, you know what, I'm going to see if that works. I'm going to flip this switch and see if that works. I'm going to start playing with my energy. Then you're like a snowball rolling. Then that's what gets the ball rolling. You know, I'm going to start playing with my energy. I'm going to start playing with my perception. I'm going to start playing with, you know, my energy, basically. You know, and then once you start seeing, oh, whoa, this shit works. Nuh-uh, I'm going to try it again. And then it's over from that point. Then you start to connect. You start to connect to everything. And then that's when the blindfold starts coming off. And then that's when you start to see, oh shit, well, I've been lied to. One of the very first things that happens is the TV gets turned off. When you become aware of how powerful your thoughts are, you turn the fucking TV off. Turn it off. I don't even want to hear it. I don't know about y'all, but I don't even listen to the radio. If I have the radio on and there's a song playing, the minute that DJ starts talking, oh, breaking news, click, change it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even care. You know, oh, breaking news out of Florida today. Click. I don't even want to hear it. Change the channel. You know what I mean? It's just an automatic reflex to me now. You know, how many of y'all are like that? Come on now. Breaking news. Click. Fuck your breaking news. Breaking bullshit is what it is. You know, or even if it's not bullshit, even let's go ahead and say, okay, maybe this bad thing did happen. Maybe it did. Why do I need to know about that? Why do I need to get my energy all wrapped up in the drama of something that all it's going to do is lower my frequency, and the lower my frequency is, the less control I have over the things going on around me, you know? It's just going to lower my frequency, and I'm going to end up manifesting something stupid today, you know? If I let myself grab onto that thought and hold on to it, you know? You start to see how that works. You know, I'm not letting myself be programmed by anything that you say, anything the news says, anything the radio says, anything my friends say. It's pretty interesting. And it all starts with going in here and flipping knobs and levers and flipping switches and start experimenting, just experimenting with how experiences in your life are created by your perception. And once you really start to get the hang of that, bam, the blindfold starts to come off. You're led straight to the truth. I'm not on the front lines. I'm not on the front lines of the truth community. You know, I'm just that guy that's standing there like, hey, I can teach you something. You know, everybody's walking around blindfolds on. What's the truth? Who do I trust? What do I believe? What's really going on? And there I am in the middle of that crowd. Yo, let me show you something. Reach behind your head and untie that knot. Huh? There's a knot back here? Take the blindfold off. Whoa, you can see now. Then, oh, I see who I can trust. Now my moral compass is accurate. Now I see what's going on in here. Now I can, you know what I mean? And then that's when those people who are on the front lines, that's when you can feel out who's real and who's full of shit. Who's leading you down a good path and who's leading you down a path to destruction. That's when you can make those intuitive, because that's the only thing in today's day and age, that's all we have to go on. It's all we have to go on is our moral compass. That's all we have to go on. You know, because you don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. There's people you think are dead who are alive. There's people you think who are alive who are dead. We have no idea what's really going on. The only thing we have to rely on is our own intuition. That's why it has never, ever, ever been more important than right now to get in tune with this. Never been more important. Because if you're not in tune with this, you might not make it. You might not make it. You'll end up walking into a trap. You know? I may be saying too much. I don't know. You'll end up walking into a trap. And you won't make it out. See what I'm saying? I think I'm going to back off of that right now, though. I think I am going to back off of that right now, though. So, anyway, though. That's what I'm doing here. And I know that, what I was going to say is, I remember the minute that I decided to start looking down into the comment sections, and everybody's awake. Everybody's awake, dude. And I'm like, sweet. Yeah. So those of you, as you begin to awaken, when the opportunity presents itself to you, it's very important. When it presents itself to you, teach it to somebody else. Teach somebody else. Now, don't go try to shove it down somebody's throat. If you go try to explain it to somebody and you see a very clear indication that they're not receptive, they're not wanting to hear it, they're not wanting to take it in, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Back away. Leave them alone. If they're fighting you, leave it alone. Don't put up a fight. But when an opportunity presents itself to you, teach somebody else. We are awakening. It's like a wildfire. It's like a little spark. You know? It's like you're just a little bitty spark, and that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's like you're in the woods, and it just takes a little spark. Just start one little flame, and it spreads. Yep. Anyway, though. Anywho. Oh, yeah. Oh, you on my Telegram, Leandro? Yeah. I got to put some more stuff on there, though. I do. I got to put some more stuff on there. I really didn't think, and I only got a few people on there, like a couple hundred, but I want to be able to, I guess, lay my credentials on the table. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got to put some more stuff on there. But anyway, yeah, I do have Telegram. I do, yes. I do have Telegram. But like I've explained in one of those videos on there, is that one of the main reasons why I'm not on the front lines is because I don't have new information to bring you. Nothing new. Okay? I don't have new intel to give you. Now, all the intel that's out there and available, I can confirm it. I can confirm that it's not just, I've received information from very credible sources that it's true. They're not lying. That's all I can really do. That's the only thing I can really do. So as far as new intel, now if I wanted to, I could go through and start telling you the same thing everybody else is telling you. I could do that, but I feel like that's a little bit pointless. I kind of feel like that's a little bit redundant. I feel like the front lines, there's a very, very, very nice, army of light warriors on the front lines who have got that covered. See what I'm saying? They've got that covered. I could. I just kind of don't really feel like I'm needed there. I don't really feel like I'm needed there. I feel like I'm needed to be that person that guides, that teaches you how to take the blindfold off. See what I'm saying? Because even on the front lines, there's still a bunch of people who are full of shit. A bunch of them. And what I teach, and my job here is to be able to, once I teach you a few things, you'll be able to tell Once you start implementing some of the teachings that I give you, you'll be able to tell who you can trust and who you can't. You know, you'll be able to tell the difference between somebody telling you the truth and controlled opposition. Again, I'm not gonna, man, I don't even, I gotta watch what I say here, man, but yeah. Anyway, though. Anywho, whenever I say anywho, you know it's time to change the subject. Anywho. Very interesting time. Very interesting time to be alive. Appreciate y'all for the positive feedback. Anyway, though. Anyway, y'all got a good day planned today? I do. Man, last weekend, my daughter practiced soccer twice. And then played one game. She scored the first goal, and her team kicked the shit out of that team. And I was like, oh, damn. My little girl's an athlete, boy. She is, too. She got up in there. I'm like, oh, man, she ain't gonna know what in the hell she's doing. She only went to 2 practices. I don't think she's ever played soccer in her life. And, man, she went in there. She scored the first damn goal, and I think she scored 2 or 3 goals. And her team kicked the shit. I was like, whoa. So that's what we're doing today. Going to another soccer game. I'm just getting warmed up and amped up for this reading. I'm getting hungry, too. Oh, yeah. So the one thing that I've kind of backed off of talking about is my fitness. I haven't really said much about that lately. I'm taking it up to the next level again. Like I was telling y'all that one time, I'm bodybuilding now. We're putting muscle on. So now I'm back to being sore all the time again. It's so interesting. It's like these little baby levels, these little baby steps, you know? Like he knows how to put me on one level where we're doing the same kind of thing every session, you know? And it's hard, it hurts, it's painful, it sucks. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, it doesn't really hurt anymore. This is getting easy. All right, time for the next level. And then we'll take it up to the next level. And then it goes back to hurting again and being painful and this and that. And now he's got me doing some stuff, man, that a year ago, man, I had no muscle, dude. When I very first stepped off onto this fitness journey, I had no muscle. All of my muscles had atrophied because I had spent a year and a half ever since I became a career YouTuber sitting around not doing nothing. My muscles turned to pudding, you know? So this has been a very rough journey. So now I'm back to being sore all over again. Oh, hurting. But I love it. I love it, man. My goal, I've told you all this, some of you, my goal was to be able to look back and say, I'm not the same person I was last year. 1 year from today, next October, I want to be able to say, I'm not the same person I was last year. That's my goal. That is the goal. Flat Earth app, yeah. I know enough about that. That's another topic that I don't touch on too much. Another topic I don't touch on too much. Not really. Not really. But I do know quite enough about that. But anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, I guarantee you riding horses. Yeah, oh, man. Whew. I guarantee it. Man, that would be, oh, that would, well, I could probably handle it now, but if you put me on a horse a year ago, I probably couldn't have done it. I probably couldn't have done that. Horses kind of freak me out a little bit, man. And I know I'm from Kentucky. You know, I used to live right across the street from Churchill Downs, but they've always kind of freaked me out a little bit. You know, when you get up close to them, fucking things are huge, dude. Them things are big. Got big ass heads, you know. You walk up next to something that has a head this big, and you're like, whoa. You don't want to be scared, you know, but they're scary. They're a little bit freaky, you know. You don't know that feeling until you walk up to something that massive, you know, and you're like, man, all you gotta do is get pissed off and kick me, and you can fuck me up, you know. Yeah, they're a little bit scary. Yeah, they're neat to look at. Scary though. They freak me out, dude. They freak me out. But anytime I've ever been close to them, I always make sure that I calm myself down, you know. You go up and pet one. That'd be a hell of a responsibility. I know a lot of people who are into it. That would just be one hell of a responsibility, you know. I don't think I would ever want one. I don't think I would ever want one. That would be a responsibility, boy. That would be a responsibility. Expensive? Holy fuck, man. How much does it cost to feed one of those things? You know? And shovel their doo-doo and all that. I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't want to do all that. Unless, I mean, maybe if I had a free range, if I had a bunch of land with a horse that could roam, you know, roam a bunch of land and go out and find its own food, I wouldn't have to shovel its doo-doo. But I don't think I would want like a stable. You know what I mean? No, I don't watch other tarot card readers, no. No, I probably should. The only thing that I do is I'll peep in. If y'all see me sometimes, I'll peep in on the people that I kind of consider my buddies in the tarot community. You know, like Ramblin' Mike, Illust Illuminator. You know, I kind of consider them my buddies, and I'll pop in on their lives sometimes and be like, yo, I'm showing some love, and then I'll just pop right back out. But no, I don't really watch them. I don't really watch any other, I don't really. The shit that I watch on the internet is very, very unrelated, usually now, because I'm one of those people. The content that I watch is usually typically very unrelated to anything that I do. You know, I don't really watch anything related to tarot or spirituality or astrology. Not anymore, really. Not anymore. See, what leads us to those things, I remember when I very first got into those things, I was needing to find my path. You know, I was needing to find a path, and I found my path. I found my path. So I don't really look for guidance anymore. Every once in a blue moon. Yeah, but for the most part, I'm not really looking for spiritual guidance. Not really. I've spread my own wings, you know. You'll get to that point. That's one thing that I was saying this yesterday, that we don't want to get too wrapped up in becoming addicted to guidance. My goal, you know, I don't know how successful I am at this goal, but my goal would be, if you come to me for a reading, I hand you the tools that hopefully will allow you to spread your own wings and fly, so you never have to go look for guidance ever again. You never have to go get another reading from somebody. You never have to, you know, that makes sense? There's a lot of people out there who become addicted to guidance, you know? And at the end of the day, eventually we have to get to a point where we spread our own wings and fly, you know? We got to get to that point one day. So I reached that point, a couple years ago. So it's very rare that I sit and watch content. And it's nothing bad. I'm not bashing nobody. I'm not saying for any bad reasons. You know, like, I'm not saying that any of these people out there have bad content. It's just that it's not necessary for me. I don't feel like I need it, you know, because I've hit that point, man. I've spread my wings, flying. I'm walking my own path, manifesting my own reality and whatnot. So usually, I don't know, here lately, I tell you what I've been looking at here lately. I'll get into weird shit. Like, I'll think of something that, oh man, I want to do some research. I've been researching, and it was inspired by me buying my sword here. It was inspired by me buying this. I was like, there's some people out there who are really obsessed with like swords and medieval stuff and whatnot. So that's what I've been kind of looking at here lately on the internet is like the history of medieval times and medieval weapons and stuff like that and whatnot. You know, I look at weird shit. I'm strange like that, you know. I'm strange. Plants, I like to watch things on bonsai trees and stuff like that. But this has been the latest. I've been watching lots of video content on people who are real big on the history of medieval shit. And it all came from me buying this just as a prop for my magician's table. I was just sitting there looking at it one day and I'm like, I wonder what a real, because I mean, this isn't fake. this is real. This is a real sword. If you sharpened it, it could fuck somebody up. But you know, there's people who are like into real high quality swords and shit. And I'm like, I wonder what type of weapons real knights used to use back in the day. You know what I mean? Like you see like the card, the Knight of Swords. But I wonder what a real knight's sword looks like. So I've been looking at that here lately, that kind of stuff, you know? So yeah, no, I don't really have a clue what hardly anybody out there is doing in the spiritual community, in the astrological community, because when you get to that point to where you're no longer really looking for guidance and you feel 100% confident that you're manifesting your reality, and you're satisfied with the things that you're manifesting, and you are 110% confident that you have the power to manifest your reality and walk your path, you'll find yourself not looking at that stuff anymore. You'll find yourself probably not watching me. You won't be watching me. You won't be watching half the people out there, you know, and it's not a bad thing at all. Not a bad thing at all. The way I look at it, after a certain point, I kind of question, like, am I teaching you the right things? You know, if somebody, like I said, I'm not saying you're not allowed to come back to me for a reading, but sometimes whenever I have a customer come back like 3, 4, 5 times, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. I'm like, well, shit, am I not teaching you the right way? Like, I look at it as a mistake on my part. Like I'm doing something wrong. Like I'll be hard on myself. Like, fuck, you know, am I not doing it right? Am I not? So I'll start like getting down on myself. Like, well, shit, if they got to keep coming back over and over and over again, did I not teach them right or something, you know? So I'll that usually tells me that, man, am I not doing this right? What can I do to improve my teachings? What can I do to you know what I mean? That makes sense? It's weird. It's weird, but anywho, it is about time for me to get out of here though, y'all. It is about time. About that time. I'm just gonna hop straight on this reading. And go wake the kiddos up. So, I greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening to me run my mouth again for another early morning. But I will see you all later on my main channel, since I wasn't on there yesterday. Y'all enjoy.